I just watched a video from a guy named Kazumi Fowler. I hope I'm saying your name right. Sorry if I'm not. I've seen this guy post comments on a number of my videos before, and I just happened to click his name. And just through what he was saying, I was always curious to see what exactly he does, if he even makes videos. I found out he does. Actually, I think I have seen his videos before because he has a very distinct look, and he looked familiar. Anyway, he made a video about this knockout game and political correctness, and brought up a number of things that just really got me thinking about things, and he made a ton of good points. And he basically explained, and before I get into this video, I know no matter what I say here, how I explain it, someone's going to call me a racist. Someone's going to call me an asshole for doing this or whatever. But hopefully a lot of you say, yes, this is a very interesting topic and it should be explored more, and our ability to speak on this should be spoken upon more. Now, going back into Kazume's video here, he explained how, there's a political correctness, and talked about the white privilege in this country, etc., etc. And when it comes to things like the knockout game, it's there's almost like a phobia, like the Islamophobia. You don't want to attack Islam because you don't want to piss them off, kind of like something along those lines. And if you do and you're white and you criticize something that's done in the black community, you're a racist. And I'm kind of paraphrasing what he's saying and kind of giving my own interpretation of it as well. And so much of what he said, I honestly feel is true. And he explained how, whether you like to admit it or not, we're all at least some part racist or somewhat, I don't even know what you want to say, look down upon a culture or your culture or a segment of your culture, whether you want to admit it or not. There's at least a piece of you there. And he explained how this knockout game, for those of you who don't know, it's a trend in thug culture right now in New Jersey, and it's not every single black teenager doing this. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh no, some white kid has never done this to a black kid or anything like that. I'm aware that it's happened on both sides of white and black here. But he's saying how this knockout game, which there's a number of recorded and reported instances in New Jersey right now of black teens doing this thing where it's called the knockout game, where you sucker punch someone just walking down the street. Like, you just sucker punch them, either from behind, from the front, just a regular citizen walking down the street, and you try to see if you can knock them out in one hit. And it's a trend that's going on in numerous instances, and it's like the hip and trendy thing to do in the black thug culture right now in New Jersey. And again, it's not all black teens doing this, I get that, it's some isolated instances, but here's where I have a problem with this. Where is the black community outrage over this? Where is it? And if it's out there, you need to speak the fuck up. Because being silent about this or being accepting of this in any way, shape, or form is not going to help race relations in this country. Because I can tell you right now, I can sit here and tell you until I'm blue in the face that I am not a racist. But if I'm walking down the street right now and I see a group of black teenagers, I'm going to have that in my head. Oh, is this going to be a knockout game thing? And I shouldn't. But it's going to be in my head. And whether you like to admit it or not now, if you've seen something like the knockout game, you happen to be out walking down the city streets and you see a group of black teens, you might have that in your head as well. Is that racist, or is that just being a general precaution for just being a common person walking down the street now? And frankly, as someone who was born and raised in the state of New Jersey, I'm ashamed. I'm just ashamed of my state, that my home state is getting linked to this. And the whole thing of, where is the black outrage of this? Because I could tell you personally, if this was an instance where it was, and as Kazume said, if this was instances of, in any city, groups of white teenagers doing this to black kids, or just doing it to anyone, it doesn't even matter what race they're, just sucker punching anyone in society, Or if it was just the black kids, it would be just, oh my God, Al Sharpton would be out there like a motherfucker in that town. Oh my God. But that just is what it is. I guess whites can't complain because they've had it too good, right? But if we want to evolve more, as far as relations in this country, quell down racism more and more, then we got to speak up about things like this. We have to condemn groups no matter, don't do it as groups in whole, but don't be afraid to condemn some sort of act because it's a specific race or ethnicity doing it. The whole phobia thing of like, we can't really go there and say there's a problem with black teens in New Jersey that are acting thuggish. Like, that mentality is not going to solve racism. It's only going to perpetuate racism. It's only going to make more people fearful of blacks. African Americans, whatever the politically correct term is, I don't even care right now. Because like I said, if this was a group of white people doing this to blacks, I would be so fucking outraged. I'd be one of the first people to turn on my camera, just say some hick town in Alabama, whatever, and their random white teenagers are popping black kids in the streets trying to knock them out for the fuck of it. I'd be like, this is shameful. Every single one of those fucking kids should be arrested and locked up for good. And you see this in the white community. You see the white community get disgusted at a group like the KKK, any group, any anti-Semitic, racist group. I can tell you right now, every time I see a rebel flag, it bothers me. It bothers me. I won't lie about it. It bothers me. Even if it's white people rocking that flag, it bothers me. I see that as a symbol of hatred and oppression, a symbol of a group of white people that even during the time of the civil rights era said, no, we don't want to go by federal law. We want to still separate whites and blacks in our communities. We can't have blacks using the same amenities as whites in our communities. No, we can't have that. Now, I know not everyone rocking a rebel flag is going to be a racist and wants to be a separation of blacks and whites in society and perpetuate that. I get all that. But when I see that, it bothers me. Even though it's white people with that flag, it bothers me. So I'll criticize my own group. You'll see white Catholics criticizing the Catholic Church because they're hiding, child molestation charges from priests, or priests are getting, cover-up jobs pulled on them. The black community needs to come out and fucking condemn when something like this just helps racism perpetuate in this country. And not condemning this knockout game makes it just look like you guys are sympathetic towards it. And the people that are coming out and that are saying like, oh man, I'm against this knockout game because man, if one of those motherfuckers tried it with me, I'd knock them out right back. Oh yeah, because violence answering violence is the solution. That's a good way to do things. Anyway, I know I'm going to get some flack for this video. I know people are just going to call me racist. They're going to be like, oh, shut up, man. There was some white kid that knocked out a black kid in this instance, and you didn't speak out against it. The point is, this specific instance of the knockout game is featuring black urban kids in New Jersey right now, sucker punching mainly white people in the streets of New Jersey. And I can tell you right now, a lot of white people are going to have their racism towards blacks pushed farther because of this. The least the black community could do is condemn the living fucking shit out of this. And frankly, if I gotta be called a racist to help a few more people help perpetuate that logic, then by God, I'll take the heat for that. Anyway, Kazume, very good video, and a ton of good points, and I'm with you on this whole political correctness and not tackling certain issues because it's like, oh, we don't want to offend that group. Oh, we don't want to say this because it might be seen as racist. I don't care. Fucking call me a racist about it. Anyways, just wanted to get my 2 cents out about this. I know someone's going to pick it out or just, pull out of context something I said here and not take the video in its totality and do what you got to do, people. Have a good day.